Welcome guys to another video. In this video, as you saw by the title, I want to be talking about the Midnight Open. So this is one that a lot of people have been asking me about on my Instagram. So I'm just gonna explain it to you guys real quick. I want to use a different Nasdaq because I don't want to move my analysis. I'm not gonna do that all over again. So you're gonna start off by taking the indicator, which is this one right here. ICT, kill zone, and pivots. And then you're gonna set the times. Just take a screenshot of that. And then I also have the times here for the writing and the New York Open. So now the Midnight Open is a very simple topic. Like the Midnight Open is just something that I use for when I don't have a proper level of liquidity that I'm looking for. So usually we go for it straight through the open of the New York session. So let's just go back and find examples. This happens like almost every day. Wednesday, so let's start on Monday. Yeah. So if you look at this, just like on the previous video, this has proper liquidity. So this is added confluence on the Midnight Open. This is definitely a trade I could have taken. We have a fair value gap here, which also gives the confirmation for the buys. So you're expecting higher prices, and at the same time you have the Midnight Open right here. So whenever we are trading below the Midnight Open, before the New York session, when you come on the chart and you see that, okay, we're trading below the Midnight Open, you should expect buys. You shouldn't be looking for selling opportunities in a discount when the Midnight Open is all the way up there. You understand? So just like literally every single day. So here, just that it wasn't a large range, it wasn't in a deep premium, but it was still above the Midnight Open, which was here. And then what happened during the New York Open, we traded right through it. It wasn't a large range though, this one. We have another one here, we traded above. During the New York session, we traded to it. There are days where you can find better opportunities, like when it's in a deep premium or a deep discount, something like this. We have the Midnight Open all the way here. And then during the New York session, okay, the New York session opened right next to it. We have this one. The New York session opened here and we traded lower towards the Midnight Open. We'll go down to the lower time frame and I'll show you guys how I find my entries also to these. We have another one here. We're trading in a deep premium, and then what happened during the New York session, we traded lower back down to the Midnight Open. Right after trading back to the Midnight Open, and then we continued the direction that we were going the whole day. We have equal highs right here. I remember this day I still expected it to go higher because we only had like a small sweep here. And I still see this as, when I see liquidity like this or a sweep like this, I don't expect a reversal from this. That's not enough damage to cause a reversal. So I remember this day. And then we're basically in a discount, and then you look for opportunities to the Midnight Open. And then on days where the market would be in an impulsive move to a certain direction, we don't really trade to the Midnight Open. But there are days where we will trade back to it, as you can see right here. And it's also sponsored because you also have that high. So that's a high probability trade that you could catch there, going to the Midnight Open. And then we have our open here of the New York session. We traded higher, but then what happened? Came back down to the Midnight Open. This was a huge range here. We were in a deep premium. You wouldn't want to be looking for buys here while we are in such a deep premium. we should be looking for opportunities back to the midnight open. So then we have another one right here, but then the New York session opened when we're already there. There are some days where you're not gonna catch nice moves like you would have on this day. But yeah, that's how I trade the midnight open. And then let's go down to the lower time frame and we'll start with Friday's price action. Although I know we didn't get any opportunities to the midnight open, but the midnight open is basically something that you expect to trade to. Even if you expecting sales, like on this day, I expected us to push lower because we have a daily time frame fair value gap that we had to rebalance. And we also had the previous session lows. See that fair value gap right there. And we also had these previous session lows here, like the Asia session low, and then also the lunch hour low and this low right here. So as soon as we opened during the New York session, we traded towards the midnight open, which was right here. We didn't tap it, but we did trade towards it. And during the open, we swept this high right here. I have a lot of videos where we're showing this, where whenever there's a high or low right near the open of the New York session, we'll always sweep that low and then reverse. And that happened also here. But unfortunately, I didn't catch any trades here because we didn't pull back into this order block. And I didn't take any opportunities here because I was expecting us to sweep these highs again. We created liquidity above here, these equal highs. Like I showed you guys on the previous video, I expect this is like a double top. So I expect these to get taken out. And then as soon as we had that sweep, we have this order block right here. I expected this. I would have taken this. And then we didn't pull back to it. We only pulled back to it during the lunch hour. But I don't really trade in this hour. So the whole point is the midnight open. Whenever you are trading below the midnight open, see like on Friday here, the New York open was here, and we're trading in a deep discount. So you are not gonna be looking for sales here. You're gonna at least catch buys to this midnight open if you can catch opportunities, or you're gonna just wait for it to come to the midnight open and then you catch the actual move you're looking for. That's literally it about the midnight open. There's nothing really crazy to it or anything like that. As long as you're above it, you know you're looking for sales. If you're below it, you're looking for buys. That helped me reduce my rate of taking useless losses a lot, because there were a lot of times where I would expect sales or whatever, like in this case, and then I would be looking for those sales before we come to the midnight open. And then once I started using the midnight open, then I noticed that, oh, okay. So just to show you guys this again, we have, it's called the ICT kill zones and pivots. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know in the comments if you learned something, and let me know what else you guys want me to explain from the way I trade. I have a whole playlist of my live trading and everything. You guys check that out, and also follow my Instagram, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.